Good morning, guys. So I want to talk to you all about something because it's a common theme that I see with a lot of people posting on Facebook and social media. I even see some coaches that I follow posting about this, and so I felt like I really need to speak up because there's quite a bit of misunderstanding around this topic that leads to a lot of judgment and human suffering. So, what we're going to talk about today is toxic people and how they don't exist. So I hear people talking all the time about, getting rid of toxic people in your life and toxic people do X, Y, Z. Guys, there's no such thing as a toxic person. Get that out of your head. Let it go because having this thought in and of itself is a judgment of another human being. And anytime you judge another human being, you also bring judgment on yourself. So the goal here is to get to a point where we no longer judge humans. We can, of course, not like behaviors. That's perfectly fine. We cannot agree with behaviors. We cannot agree with beliefs. We cannot like behaviors and beliefs that certain people have. Totally fine. That's a choice you can have. It's part of being a human. We get to choose our own beliefs, choose our own behaviors, and choose the people that we surround ourselves with. But guys, there's no such thing as a toxic human being. There are behaviors that a human being can exhibit that rub up against a core wound or a past trauma that we haven't healed in our life yet. And when they rub up against it, it triggers behavior in us that causes us to act out of alignment of the person that we want to be. And so, in that essence, there are certain behaviors that a person can exhibit that then create toxic behaviors in ourselves, or they trigger toxic behaviors or toxic thought patterns or toxic cycles in our life within us. But let's be clear on something: the other person is not toxic, and you are not toxic for exhibiting those behaviors. What is happening is this person's belief in life right now, where they are in alignment with trying to get to the same place you're trying to get, which is to feel loved, safe, and secure. That's all we all really want. And that's really what we're all looking for. We want to feel connected. We want to feel loved, safe, secure. And in that process, we all go through periods of believing all sorts of things to try and get there. And a lot of these beliefs, they don't work for us. And that's why we suffer and we struggle so much. And we feel disconnected from other people and like we can't relate to them. It's not because of the other people or because of us. It's because of the beliefs that we're holding. And guys, by saying that there are toxic people, we create more of that judgment in the world that disconnects us from people. It carries this belief that also is what causes it's the underlining fundamental belief that also creates racism in the world. It's the same fundamental belief that creates a lot of isms in the world, and that's that we're not the same people, that we're not the same human beings at the most basic level, that we all don't want the same thing, that somehow we are different and disconnected fundamentally. And that is a lie. And by saying things like getting rid of toxic people in your life, you encourage that belief to stay alive in the world, that we are fundamentally different types of people. Let go of that belief. It doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve anybody in this world. Now, what I will encourage you to do is if there are people in your life that you are calling toxic, take a look at their behaviors. Take a look at your beliefs about their behaviors. And then I want you to look at your past experience in life. And when you're around this person, what feelings do you get? And then I want you to look at it. Was there another point in time in your life that you had those same feelings? And what was that? What occurred then? Because more than likely, there was a core wound that occurred at a past time in your life that you have not dealt with, a trauma that you have not dealt with, that this person is reminding you of that trauma and bringing those emotions and that feeling back up to the surface. And then you are reacting to that trauma, to those emotions, and you are reliving that cycle of behaviors again that brings up. And that feels toxic because it keeps you in an old cycle, an old behavior, an old pattern of that you don't want to live anymore because it's not pushing you towards the person that you want to be. It's actually not even pushing you towards the person, not pushing you towards the person you don't want to be because you're already that person. But it's not pushing you towards seeing that you are that person and being able to live into it and behave and create action from that space because you don't believe you're there yet. So there are people in this world that have beliefs and have behaviors that will trigger old belief systems or will trigger hurtful patterns that you've developed in trying to cope with past traumas. But guys, do not judge the other person as being toxic. Because in the process of doing so, you've created more judgment in the world, which then falls also back on you. And it encourages the belief that somehow people are different at the most basic level and that we're not all the same and all not wanting to feel connected, loved, and safe. And this is what continues these cycles, guys. This is what continues these beliefs existing in the world that keep us all feeling disconnected from each other. So, guys, we have to let those go. We have to let them go. And one of these beliefs is this idea that there are toxic people in this world. Guys, go look up the definition of toxic. It'll tell you something about something being poisonous, venomous, dangerous to your health. There are no people like that. There are behaviors that trigger patterns and old beliefs in you that are not good for your health. But that person that is exhibiting those behaviors is not toxic. They want the same things you do. They are the same human as you are. They are just stuck in a belief pattern right now that when you encounter that belief pattern, triggers behaviors that do not serve you, triggers beliefs that do not serve you. So, guys, let's strike that term from our vocabulary. It should not exist anymore. There is no such thing as a toxic human being. You cannot be a toxic human being to anyone else. No one else can be a toxic human being to you. There are only behaviors that trigger beliefs in us, that we then get the option to look at that belief and choose, do I want to keep it anymore? That's a totally different topic we can talk about. But guys, the person is not toxic. What is toxic is the belief that you are holding on to that is creating a thought, creating a belief pattern, creating a behavior pattern that is not serving you. And that can be changed by you and you only, not by that other person. That other person's behavior changing does not fix that. So guys, if you are encountering a person that you call toxic, I challenge you to look at the beliefs and the behaviors and the old trauma, memories, stories that you have that they're triggering you to live into, that are creating these cycles that are actually the toxic thing. And then once you see those, I challenge you to see the beliefs behind them and how you can change them, how you can let go of them and adopt new beliefs, create new beliefs in your life that allow you to be around people that exhibit these behaviors without feeling that toxic pull towards old belief and behavior patterns that don't serve you anymore. So guys, if this is something that resonates with you, something that sounds like, yeah, that's something that I definitely am struggling with, reach out, guys. Ask me your questions, leave your thoughts and comments. Guys, this is the kind of work I do with people. This is what I love to show people, is these patterns of believing that a person out there is toxic, something that's out of your control. It doesn't serve you. Guys, you have complete control over this area of your life, and you can grab the steering wheel and redirect and change those beliefs. And guys, open yourself up to feeling connected to everybody in this world. There is no human being that is toxic to you. So guys, reach out to me if this is something that sounds like something you resonate with or are struggling with. I'm here to give you some guidance, here to give you some help, here to give you some clarification, because guys, this topic is huge and we're sort of brushing the surface but also diving deep at the same time. So I understand this might be frustrating or confusing for you if you're listening to it. But I'm hoping that this resonates with some people out there and we can start opening this conversation up and start getting rid of this term of toxic people. There is no such thing as a toxic person. So, guys, strike it from your vocabulary. Let's open up the conversation about it and get to the bottom of what really is toxic. And that's beliefs, traumas, and patterns in your life that you have not let go of because you believe you have to hold on to belief systems that you don't actually have to. So, that's all I have for you today. Like I said, leave me your thoughts, comments, questions below. Love or like this video if you want more. Hate it, laugh at it. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Just react to it, please. Share it with people. Share, get the message out there. Let's get rid of the term toxic people. So yeah, all I have for you today. I hope you guys have an amazing Friday and an amazing weekend, and I will talk to you all soon. Ciao.